You stand up from your chair for 60 seconds. Maybe it's a coffee run, maybe it's the bathroom. You come back to find your cat curled into a perfect circle centered on the cushion. They were across the room moments ago. You try to sit back down. They go completely limp. Claws anchor into the fabric, a soft, complaining chirp. So you try the obvious move. You pick them up and place them on the chair directly beside yours. Same cushion, same fabric, same everything. They refuse it. They don't want a chair. They want that chair. The answer starts with what you left behind. Inside that cushion is a chemical fingerprint. Your skin oils, your sweat, your body heat, all of it soaked into the fabric. To your cat, that's not a chair, that's you. And when you come back and move them off it, their brain registers something it wasn't built to handle. Not inconvenience, not stubbornness. Frustration, the same neurological state triggered when an animal is blocked from a survival resource. Their cortisol spikes, their dopamine drops, and that little self-grooming session that follows, that's not attitude, that's your cat trying to chemically calm itself down. Let's talk about how this actually works. Welcome to Feline Intel, where cat behavior meets veterinary science. Let's go back about 10,000 years. The domestic cat descends from a single ancestor, Felis libica, the African wildcat, a desert animal built for one of the harshest thermal environments on Earth. Daytime temperatures above 110 degrees Fahrenheit, nights that drop below freezing. That gap, nearly 80 degrees in a single day, shaped every metabolic instinct your cat carries. Survival in that environment meant one thing above everything else: don't waste energy. Under a biological principle called Kleiber's law, the metabolic rate of an animal scales directly to their body mass. Smaller mammals burn energy at a dramatically faster rate per gram than large ones. Gram for gram, a house cat consumes energy roughly 10 times faster than an elephant. Research shows a healthy cat dedicates up to 75% of its entire daily energy budget just to keep its core temperature stable while resting. That's before it moves, hunts, or plays. So the African wildcat evolved a smarter strategy. Instead of generating heat internally, it found heat externally. That blueprint is still running in your cat today. Their thermo-neutral zone, the temperature range where they burn zero extra energy to stay warm, sits between 86 to 101 degrees Fahrenheit. Your living room, at a comfortable 70 degrees, leaves your cat 16 to 30 degrees short of thermal comfort. To your cat, your home is perpetually, mildly cold. Not dangerously cold, just expensive. A recently vacated chair and foam cushion still holding your body heat has a surface temperature right around 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's a free energy source. Your cat's paw pads, densely packed with specialized heat receptors, can detect that thermal footprint the moment they step onto the cushion. While humans feel heat-induced discomfort around 112 degrees Fahrenheit, cats don't experience thermal pain until surfaces exceed 126 degrees. That chair isn't just warm to them, it's perfectly warm. But warmth alone doesn't explain why they sprint past every other warm surface in the house to get to yours specifically. For that, you need to understand what else you left behind. Watch closely the next time your cat settles into your seat. Some cats do something most owners never notice: a slow rub of the cheeks and chin against the cushion. Maybe once, maybe several times. You might think your cat is just settling in. But it's actually running a chemical protocol. Your skin has been depositing a unique biological signature onto that fabric since the moment you sat down. Oils, sweat, dead skin cells, all of it carrying a cocktail of volatile organic compounds as distinct to you as a fingerprint. Humans have roughly 5 million olfactory receptors. Your cat has 200 million. That is a completely different sensory world. It can pull apart a scent profile with the precision of a laboratory instrument. But it doesn't stop at smelling. You've probably seen your cat do this before. They sniff a blanket or an old piece of your clothing, then lift their head, open their mouth slightly, and freeze in a strange glazed-eye grimace. It looks like they've smelled something awful. They haven't. This is the Flamen response, a sophisticated secondary analysis system. By opening their mouth, the cat draws in invisible chemical signals past their front teeth and traps them against a specialized organ built into the roof of their mouth called the Jacobson's organ. Your cat won't necessarily do this on your chair, but the same sensory system is active every time they encounter your scent. A study published in PLOS One confirmed that cats use this exact system to decipher the biological identity of their human caregivers. When encountering an unfamiliar scent, they evaluate it cautiously with their right nostril. The split second they detect your familiar signature, they switch to the left, instantly triggering a hardwired signal to the brain that they are completely safe. Now here's where the cat stops being a passive reader and becomes an active one. That cheek rubbing deposits the pheromones inside their cheek glands directly onto the cushion. These pheromones are a lipid-rich secretion that physically bonds with your residual skin compounds and slows their evaporation. Your cat is quite literally preserving your scent. That is not instinct running on autopilot. That is one of the most intimate things an animal can do. In the wild, cats from the same colony survive through a behavior called allomarking. They rub against one another continuously to blend their body oils into a single, unified group scent. It functions like a biological uniform. A cat that doesn't carry the group scent is treated as an outside threat. By rubbing its face on that warm, scent-rich cushion, your cat is actively merging its own cheek pheromones with your volatile compounds. The result is a blended communal scent, a shared biological identity between the two of you. And that blended scent does something specific. It acts as a powerful psychological buffer against environmental anxiety. Not metaphorically, neurochemically. That mixed scent signal travels from the Jacobson's organ directly to the amygdala and hypothalamus, triggering a release of neurochemicals that reinforces the feelings of environmental control and social security. This scent sharing is one of the many ways your cat uses to maintain that bond. One more detail makes this stranger still. Pheromones decay at a predictable rate, roughly 12 to 24 hours. Your cat can measure that decay and determine, with reasonable precision, exactly how long ago you were sitting there. Your cat is tracking you through time. The fresher the scent, the closer they are to you. Have you ever watched your cat survey the room before choosing exactly where to settle? That slow scan of the room is deliberate. Your cat is running a security audit. In nature, a cat occupies one of the most precarious positions in the food chain, lethal to small vertebrates, but vulnerable to everything larger. Because of this, wild cats spend up to 65% of their lives in a state of high vulnerability, particularly during sleep, when their guard is completely down. To survive, they rely on strict microhabitat selection. Biologists call the ideal resting location a daytime resting site, or DRS. A viable DRS requires three things: elevation off the ground, overhead cover, and a clear sightline to monitor the surrounding territory. Now, look at your armchair through that lens. It's elevated off the cold floor, away from ground-level threats. The back of the chair provides cover from above and behind, while the elevated position keeps the room fully visible. The chair also carries something no other warm surface in the house has: a history. Every time you sit in that chair and nothing bad happens, your cat files that data. You have personally field-tested this location, relaxed your own guard in it, and survived. Laziness would be settling for the nearest cushion. Your cat passed 3 of those to get here. There is a difference, and your cat knows it. To your cat, your biological seal of approval carries more weight than any observation it could make independently. While watching television, you lean forward to grab the remote from the coffee table. In that exact moment, the half-second your back leaves the sofa, your cat drops from the armrest, presses its cheeks and chin against your neck, and wedges itself into the warm space behind your shoulder blades. Most owners laugh this off as clingy behavior. The science suggests something more precise. In 2019, Dr. Kristen Vitale at Oregon State University published a study in Current Biology that quietly rewrote what we thought we knew about cats. She adapted the Ainsworth-Strange Situation Test, a psychological framework originally designed to measure attachment bonds in human infants, and applied it to domestic cats. The results were striking. 64.3% of kittens tested showed secure attachment to their owners. In adult cats, that number was 65.8%. The proportion of securely attached human infants in the same framework sits at approximately 65%. 3 different populations, 3 nearly identical numbers. A securely attached cat uses its owner as what behaviorists call a secure base, a psychological launchpad, a fixed point of safety from which the animal feels confident enough to explore, rest, and lower its guard. Your scent-saturated, body-warmed seat is a physical extension of that base. When you're not in the room, that chair is the closest available version of you. These attachment styles form in kittenhood, and Vitale's data shows they remain stable even after 6 weeks of additional socialization training. The architecture is laid down early, and it holds. Cats are also remarkably sensitive to human energy. A tense, hyper-reactive owner frequently produces a stressed cat. A calm one transfers that stability directly. When your cat watches you sink into your chair and let your guard down after a long day, they register the ultimate biological signal of safety. When they claim that exact spot the moment you leave, they are stepping into the footprint of your calm. Of course, not every cat operates this way. Not every researcher agrees. Some argue cats are simply drawn to warmth above all else. The debate is ongoing, but the attachment data is hard to dismiss. Because if 65% of cats are operating from a secure base model, that changes the meaning of what happens next. Lifting them off that seat removes something far more significant than a warm cushion. You are removing their anchor. You scoop your cat off the recliner and place them on the carpet. They land, stand entirely still for a moment, and then a sharp, plaintive meow, followed immediately by sitting down and licking their shoulder with fast, aggressive tongue strokes. It looks like indignation. It isn't. That meow is a frustration vocalization, the sound an animal makes when it's blocked from a high-value resource its brain was fully committed to keeping. And the grooming that follows isn't your cat washing off your touch. When you displaced them, adrenaline and cortisol spiked immediately. Heart rate up, blood pressure elevated, nervous system on alert. The grooming is the recovery mechanism. The friction of those tongue strokes triggers an endorphin release that actively brings the heart rate and blood pressure back to baseline. Your cat is self-medicating, using the only tool available to chemically calm itself down. But here's the number that puts this in perspective. A healthy cat's resting heart rate already sits between 160 to 180 beats per minute. The moment that internal alarm system trips, it accelerates to 220 beats per minute, pushing their cardiovascular system to the edge of an acute panic baseline in seconds. And while those stress chemicals flood the system instantly, they take hours to fully degrade. During that recovery window, the cat's system is still flooded. It takes far less to startle them than it normally would. Done occasionally, the body handles it. Done repeatedly, the pattern compounds. Think of your cat's stress response like a bucket filling with water. A single eviction from a chair doesn't fill that bucket, but it doesn't exist in isolation either. If your cat is already navigating a chaotic environment, being punished for natural behaviors, or lacking dedicated safe spots in the home, that bucket is already close to full. The chair eviction isn't the cause. It's the pattern it belongs to that matters. When that bucket consistently overflows, the stress moves from occasional to chronic. Chronic stress rewires the brain over time. A cat that was once calm and curious becomes permanently anxious, easily startled, harder to settle, and slower to trust. And chronic stress in cats has a well-documented physical cost. Veterinary records link prolonged cortisol exposure to a painful bladder inflammation that can cause urinary blockages. In the most severe cases, cats can stop eating entirely. And in cats, even a few days without food can trigger serious, life-threatening illness. These aren't outcomes that happen because you moved your cat off a chair. They happen because of a household culture that consistently leaves a cat feeling unsafe. The bucket fills one interaction at a time. This is just one of those interactions. The good news is that none of this requires a dramatic overhaul of how you live with your cat. Reclaiming your seat doesn't have to cost your cat anything. The first technique is passive redirection. Take a high-value treat and lead their nose away from the chair, guiding them onto a nearby surface willingly. The cat chooses to move. The stress cascade never fires. The bond stays intact. The second technique is what veterinary behaviorists call the feline glide. Instead of approaching from above, which cats find deeply threatening, slide both hands under their chest and belly from behind. Keep your movements slow and predictable. Rather than lifting them high into the air, glide them backward or shift them gently onto your lap as you lower yourself into the chair. By keeping their body in constant contact with a horizontal surface, you prevent their survival alarms from tripping entirely. For situations where you need guaranteed access to your seat, the longer-term solution is a dedicated alternative sanctuary placed directly adjacent to your chair. Elevate it off the ground. Choose a bed with raised walls, something that makes the cat feel sheltered, and line it with an unwashed article of your clothing. That last detail matters more than most owners realize. A clean, unscented cat bed satisfies none of the biological needs driving this behavior. An unwashed t-shirt satisfies all of them simultaneously: warmth history, group scent, secure base, before the cat even lies down. For the thermal component, choose an actively heated bed over a basic, self-warming model. Self-warming beds can't compete. They stay room temperature until the cat is already lying in them. An actively heated bed can, and the K&H Thermo Kitty heated cat bed is one of the most consistently veterinarian recommended options if you're looking for a starting point. When you thread all of this together, the picture that emerges is not what most owners expect. Bypassing a dedicated cat bed to claim your empty chair isn't stubbornness. It is the single highest expression of feline security. Sleep is a state of near-fatal vulnerability for a small predator. When your cat chooses your seat, they are surrounding themselves with your residual warmth, your chemical signature, and your personal safety record. Their brain switches off its survival alarms. They are letting your biological presence protect them, even when you aren't in the room. Your cat is not stealing your space. They are doing the only thing their nervous system knows how to do when it feels genuinely safe with another living creature. They are getting as close to you as physically possible, using warmth and chemistry and 10,000 years of desert survival logic to say the one thing cats were never built to say out loud. That to them, you and home are the same word. If this made you see your cat a little differently, subscribe. There is a lot more where this came from. Tell me in the comments. Think about the last time you moved your cat off your seat. How did they react? And does it hit differently now?